All right, good Friday morning, everyone. Oh, there we go. We got a fired up crowd here. All right. Oh, yes.
It's going to be a long meeting.
Hey, Bill, the last Friday morning meeting of the year, man, we brought the crowd this morning, finally.
Save the best for last.
There you go. That's right. Today is Friday, December 17th, 2021. The last Friday morning meeting for the year, and you guys are at it. So thank you for showing up. Thank you for being here. Hopefully you're enjoying your breakfast. If you haven't got any breakfast yet, get on over to the grill. Yeah, let's give those people with the grill a round of applause. They do an awesome job. You can't beat this breakfast. The only thing I can tell you is try to keep those eyes open during our meeting if you can. They can be tough. That's right. Yeah, it's snoozing. Yeah. So anyway, anybody see that big win last night? Chiefs pulled off. There we go. So last night I was sitting there on the couch watching a little bit of the game. Every once in a while I pull up Facebook. So I pulled up Facebook and here pops up this video. I'm gonna have Brianne pull up on the screen here, just a picture of it, and it shows one of our safety associates, Jamie Miller. And that's Jamie there. Jamie's been with us about 5 years here at Prime. And I'd heard she put out a video on YouTube about Prime. So I don't know how many of you have watched this video or not. If you haven't, I would refer you to go watch it because it really talks about our culture and about our company. And she does an awesome job. And then I started thinking, this time of year with Christmas, New Year's, many of us like to get together with family. Some of our families no longer around. Makes it kind of tough for some of us. I know I no longer have my mom and dad or my brother, and it makes it a little bit rough. But it also makes you appreciate those people that you work with. And Jamie, she does a heck of a job for us. You'll never see her up here at a Friday morning meeting. I think she's maybe done 2 in 5 years. She doesn't like to get up in front of people, but she can knock it out on Facebook.
Well, we thought that, Dave. And then, was anyone in here at the truck driving championship 2 years ago? Anybody? Well, let me tell you something. This little quiet, reserved gal that you never hear anything about, what you don't know is she majored in college in music. And they asked her to sing the national anthem. Woo! She'll sing the national anthem from now on. That girl can flat belt it out for being about that tall and 90 pounds soaking wet, I'll promise you. So even though she's quiet and reserved, that little gal can sing.
Yeah, and she's a big asset for our department. Not only her, but Pam Linhart, she's in our safety department too, and she does a wonderful job with the Million Mile Award. Both Pam and Jamie, they take a lot of phone calls. They do most of our answering of accident calls, motors complaints about Amazon Prime trucks. Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah,
we talk a lot about family, and when we tell you you're part of the family, another thing about Jamie is what you don't know is her husband works in sales support. I mean, he's been here a long time as well, and her sister works in sales. So it's a family business here, and we love when family get together and all of them work here.
Yeah, and really, I wanted to put it out there. Make sure you watch this video, and any of those of you out there on Facebook or YouTube too, if you're interested in working in-house, she does a great job explaining those jobs as well. Of course, our drivers are our main asset here. We need good, safe, reliable drivers to make us work and make this company great. But we also need good in-house associates as well. And so if you're interested coming in-house, you're you don't know, maybe you don't have a job, or maybe you're thinking about changing jobs, this Prime has a great opportunities for you, working in numerous different departments. We've got assets like Jamie in about every department. We got them in IT, we got them in recruiting, we got them in orientation, we got them in operations, we got them in sales. We got people like that here at Prime just do an awesome job for us that you really never hear about, but without them, that would make your guys' job a lot more tougher, make our drivers up, because that's what it's about. Here at Prime, our in-house associates, about making you successful, making our drivers, because that's what pays the bills, driver delivering loads.
And if you have any family or friends that have thought about this line of work and thought about this industry, have them watch the video, because it tells a lot about what Prime is, our culture here, and what this company is about. And I think you'll get a lot of information out of that video that'll help them maybe make a decision whether Prime's right for them or not.
Not only that, Bill, it also tells me that we're replaceable with her.
You notice I'm not on the video.
Exactly. Yeah, me neither. It'd take us too many takes. We'd still be doing it.
My mom always said I got a face for radio.
Yeah, I hear you. So let's move on. I tell you what, we're fortunate enough to have our terminals on board with us this morning. So let's go out to Salt Lake City. Let's go out there to Troy Rich. Troy, you with us in Salt Lake?
Good morning from Salt Lake City. How are you?
Hey, we're doing good. How about yourself?
Oh, it's beautiful. It's a great day in Salt Lake.
Merry Christmas to y'all too.
Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. I did not realize this is our last meeting and we were going to have everybody up here on the stage singing for you, but I guess.
Hey, we're loaded. We're loaded here too as well. So yeah, bring your folks up. If you guys want to sing, go for it.
Oh, it's a beautiful day in Salt Lake City. We got about a foot of snow on the ground out here. How about you guys?
Man, it's 40s and raining, but you guys can keep the snow. We'll take the rain any day of the week.
It's so pretty though when the sun comes out and it's all white and glowing, and it's nice out here right now.
That is a beautiful area. I've been to your terminal out there a few times, Troy. You guys got a beautiful facility. There's no doubt about it. And yeah, beautiful area to live too. If you want to live in Salt Lake, that you guys have it. There's no doubt the beautiful mountains and snow this time of year.
Yes, we have mountains. I don't know what you have in Missouri, but we have mountains.
Yeah, we got little hills, I think. But hey, how'd it go last Friday? Did you survive it? I guess you survived it. You're still talking, but how'd the old Christmas party go?
Great Christmas party. They always do a really good party out here. You know, the whole crew came out and put on a real good shindig, and you know, like they do every year. And you know, we just appreciate it. All the employees, and we had a whole bunch of student drivers, and they were able to go to it this year. So we had a packed house. It was a great function.
Good to hear. Good to hear. Yeah, we heard positive feedback. No doubt our folks liked it who went out there. So, hey, if you have any questions, comments, whatever, make sure you let us know.
Will do. Thank you, sir.
Once again, take care, man. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to you all out there.
Thanks, buddy. Merry Christmas, guys.
Let's go east. Pittston, Pennsylvania. We got Rick Gifford up there.
Hey, good morning. How y'all doing?
We are doing good. How about yourself?
Hey, we're doing fine. You know, that was a little weak, but we're saving ourselves for tonight. So
there you go. Yeah, your party's tonight. So have a good time.
hey, we certainly will. If you want to stop around about 10 o'clock, we'll be singing some Christmas carols, I'm sure.
If we'll be able to understand you, that would be it, Rick, right there. So yes, but definitely enjoy yourself and be responsible. That's all we ask.
Oh, hey, we sure will. Not a problem. Hey, it was a great week this week. We had about 40 guys in orientation as far as upgrades and new recruits coming in. You know, had a great class, great people. It's nice to be here when you got this kind of crowd that you deal with every week. You know, just happy, smiling faces.
That's good to hear. Well, if you have any questions, comments, make sure you let us know, buddy. Merry Christmas to you guys too, and Happy New Year.
Back at you. Thank you.
All right, back in Springfield, as you could all see.
Hey, one more thing.
Oh, go ahead,
on
Bill.
that party note, we got one coming up too, don't we? In case anybody's going to be in the area.
We do, yes. January 1st, right here in Springfield. We have our holiday party too as well. So if you can make it back through, feel free to join us over here at the Oasis Inn and Convention Center. And all we ask, make sure you be responsible. And there'll be plenty of good food. There'll be some adult drinks, some non-adult drinks. Also with food comes usually a band too, I think we have this year. So we'll have a good time.
There'll be some singing and dancing at that one, I'm sure too.
No doubt. So that's January 1st. And we have also one rescheduled for Reed City. I believe it's for January 9th. We'll have to see how that works out. But Reed City was supposed to be earlier this month, but we had to reschedule it. As you can see here at Prime, we love to have fun. There's no doubt about it. But we also need to be productive as well. So it's both of an environment of having fun and being productive, and that's what we're about. You know, we have different holidays, parties going on this time of year. Next spring, we'll have the Highway Diamonds. April 22nd, Keith, April 22nd will be the Truck Driving Championship. So we're going to have 2 truck driving championships this next year because I need to build a team for our state competition in June. So if you finish in the top 15 and you qualified to go to state, you'll probably be hearing from me at our truck driving championship. So that's April 22nd.
Who can do that? Who can try out for that? Is it anybody?
Anybody can try out. That, you know, as long as you have a CDL. You have to have a Class A CDL. Other than that, you're more than welcome to give it a shot. Even if you've had an accident or a ticket or you're or we're working on critical events with you, that's okay. We just want you to come out and have fun. Probably have a good barbecue out there going, but that's all it's going to be is just the truck driving championship. It's out here on the training pad, and you'll hear more about that the closer we get to those dates. So we got a big schedule here for today.
Keith wants
Oh, go ahead.
I was going
Jump on,
to
Keith.
say, don't think that just because you haven't competed before that you can't come out there and smoke some of these guys that have done this a few times. Because we had a gentleman here, first time out of the chute, named Roy Romo, came out, tried out, went to the state championship, actually won at the state in his rookie year. So it can be done. It can be done.
Yeah, Roy got up there to get his trophy at our over at the Oasis, and he goes, "The only reason I want to be on your team, Dave, is I'll get one of those fancy shirts." Well, then he went on in one state, then he went to nationals, and he got more and more recognition. So he did a great job and continues to come back ever since then. We have a number of drivers that's what they live for around here, is to come back. We love to see new ones. I love to see the new ones knock off the old ones. Sometimes it's kind of fun. You know, I may not go out and rah cheer, but inside I kind of am. I like to see some new faces on the team. It makes for better competition. There's no doubt. So our schedule this morning here, we're going to have Bill talk about safety here in a little bit, in a few minutes. We got Haley from our leasing department will be coming up to speak as well. You know, wintertime, we got to remember maintenance. Maintenance is so important. Getting that anti-gel, making sure you know what you're doing. So we're going to have Justin Kaufman from our maintenance department come up here. And then closing her out, we're getting down to driver health and wellness. So this time of year, you know, we like to eat sometimes a little too much, enjoy ourselves too much. But Matt Hancock from Driver Health and Wellness will be here to talk with us. And finally, we're going to close it out with Wreaths Across America. And we've got Robert Pence here, brought in a trailer. It's out front. We'll talk about that. Great program we've been involved with for many years to recognize our veterans. So, Bill, you want to take
involved with a company that puts drivers like that on the forefront in a lot of these types of organizations. And when you hear about it, I've read up a lot about it here lately, and you're going to be real impressed on what this organization does and what it stands for. So some things I want to talk about this morning: inspections. Looks like this week we had 133 total inspections with 93 clean. Give yourselves a round of applause. That's 70% clean rate. And the reason we always like to applaud to that is because the normal average is around 35 to 40% clean rate for other carriers. So that's because of drivers just like you guys, making sure that equipment's in good working order before you go across that scale. This is kind of our report card, if you will, when it comes to comparing us with other carriers. Now, the reason I say that is because if you get an inspection and it's got violations on it, those points go against our CSA score. And that CSA score is important because if we're in competition with another carrier for certain freight, the first thing that customer is going to do is pull up the safety score and compare us against them. So these clean inspections help us as far as to be who we are today, because that drives our safety score to where it needs to be. So those carriers want to hook their trailer, if you will, to prime, because we have some of the best operators out there making sure when they go across these scales that everything's in good working order. We've got good equipment. There's no doubt. I mean, we keep the best there is out there. Something that you can do on your part, make sure you keep a good, clean appearing truck. I say that because we've had numerous DOT officers get up here and say, if they see a truck roll across that scale, they got trash slung everywhere on the dash and it looks like nothing's in order, they're going to inspect that truck. They're going to want to get in there, because if that kind of stuff is going by the wayside, not getting taken care of, what else are they missing? And I can tell you, you keep a good, clean truck, and when you roll across that scale, most of the time, they're either going to just check your license and let you roll, or they're going to give you a clean inspection and everything's going to work out good. So I always tell you, before you get to those, make sure when you're doing your trip planning, know when these scales are coming up. And we say that because I want you to stop, take a 30-minute break at a good, safe location, look that equipment over. Anything can happen in transit, right? You can lose a light can go out, anything can happen. But if you look that equipment over before you go through that scale, you can use that scale like an ATM. And I say that because we pay for clean inspections. If you're a company driver, it's $25. If you're a lease operator, owner operator, it's $100. Your time is important. You need to be paid for it. Before I came down this morning, our citations department asked me to mention medicals. This continues to be an issue that it plagues this entire industry. We're no different. We're not perfect. We try to be every day, but there's things we still need to work on. You got to remember to get your medical on file with your home state. Now that you have a CDL, that's one of the biggest requirements documentation-wise that you're ever going to have to deal with. And every medical you get, that new medical, needs to be on file with your home state Department of Motor Vehicles. If it's not, your home state is going to disqualify your license. It's going to happen. It happens, unfortunately, daily. We have a driver that now their CDL has been downgraded because they didn't get their medical on file. They've got a medical, they passed the medical, but they didn't get it on file with the DMV. So I'm going to ask you, the day that you take that and get that new medical from the doctor, make arrangements to get it on file with your DMV. Most of them will allow you to email it. Some will allow you to fax it. Some will have you walk it in. If that's the case, once you get it, talk to your fleet manager, get routed back so you can get that on file with your home state. The last thing you want to hear happen is that you've got a disqualification, or not a disqualification, but a downgrade. They'll put you down to a regular license and you don't have a CDL until you get it upgraded. And it's never going to be when you're in a convenient location, right? You're going to be on a load in California when you have a Florida CDL and be told you got to walk it in. You're not going to walk it, but you're not going to drive it from there either. And I bring that up because we've had some drivers be out a lot of expense to get back home just to walk that in and then get back to their truck to get back to work. I don't want this costing you thousands of dollars. I want you to do it before it expires and get it done and get it on file. So I think we had one more topic we want to talk about before we pass it on to our speakers, and that's winter driving. If any of you in here were here last week, we brought up the topic of winter driving because it's here. Well, you just heard in Salt Lake City, they got a foot of snow. Even though it's just cool and raining here, winter is upon us, okay? We've got to make smart decisions. I'm going to bring up some pictures and we're going to talk about an accident. I don't want to hear anybody laughing. I don't want to hear anybody making fun of this driver because it can happen to anybody. We don't do this to talk down about any driver at this company. That's not what we do. We use this information to learn. Because if I can share it with every one of you on what we could have done different, guess what? When you go out there, it doesn't happen to you. But you have to take this stuff that we're talking about to heart, or the next Friday morning meeting, we could have pictures of your accident up there. And that's not what we want to do. We want you to learn from it. We want to grow. We want to make sure that we're out there operating safely. And in this time of year, it's more of a challenge than any other time. So I'm going to kind of set this up and we'll talk about what we should have done different. Can I get the first picture, please? First of all, I want to show you the road conditions. Everybody see that? Pretty bad, right? So if you're out operating in those road conditions, what are a couple things that you can do first and foremost before we ever even get to the accident? What's a couple things you can do? Just shout them out. Chains on if you prefer to do that.
You could take and get to the edge of the road and feel for the rumble strip and get traction out the gravel.
You can, but what's one thing that we always say that you're the captain of the ship and it's your decision to do?
You can pull over,
park it,
Shut down
get
and-
to a safe location, slow down, communication. All these are right answers, okay? Here's the deal with Prime. If you aren't comfortable, shut down. That's your decision to make. No one here is going to tell you that you need to drive. And if they do, get with us because that's not how we operate here. The good thing about what you've chosen this company is we have a wonderful line of communication with our customers. Our customers are never going to tell you to push through to get there either because they'd much rather be late than not get there at all. And unfortunately, we have drivers that, I hate to say it, but they don't want to let anybody down. So they decide they're going to try to push through. You're not going to let anybody down here by putting yourself at risk. Don't ever think that. You'll let us down if you have an accident because you pushed yourself past the limit that you should have. Don't ever outdrive your ability. You're going to hear that too. Maybe you're not comfortable when this person back here is comfortable putting chains on and operating. Good for them. Maybe the next driver's not. That don't mean they have to. Okay. It's your decision to make. So the second picture is merely the critical event that shows the speed. I know it's kind of far away. It's hard for you to see. Speed was 60 miles an hour leading up to that accident. But the speed limit was 65, so we're okay, right? Half, and maybe even half's too much, okay? But you got to realize you're a billboard out there. And the reason I say that is we're a huge company. We have a lot of exposure. And when an accident happens, it goes global, right? Everybody sees a picture of it. Let's see the next picture. How about the national news? That is the accident that we had because of going too fast for those road conditions. And as you can see, we got on the other side, there's no accidents. So we're the lead. All right. and look at all the traffic backed up behind. And of course, they took a wonderful picture of the side of our trailer. What do you think happens when this gets to our customers? They don't like it, right? Guess where that picture came from? That picture came from our customers. I say that because we need to do better. I don't say that because I want to put down that driver. I want to say it because I don't want you guys to end up on the national news because your picture is sitting sideways in the interstate. We got to do better. Let's please learn from it. All these tips you heard, slow down, okay? Increase your following distance. We don't want to be involved in these multi-vehicle pileups because we were going along in a train of trucks and all of a sudden the first one wipes out. And that's exactly what happens in these is someone's got to be the first one. And when that first one wipes out, it starts a chain reaction. Next thing you know, you hear about 150 vehicle pileup. It starts because somebody was going too fast for the conditions and the rest of them couldn't get stopped. So make sure that you're increasing that following distance. So if one does stop, one does start, guess what? You're the first one not involved in it because you're going to be able to get yourself stopped. So always communicate with your fleet manager. That is the key. If you feel uncomfortable out there, you get stopped in a safe location, you call your fleet manager. They're going to communicate with sales and we're going to make it work. I've said this 100 times. I've been on multiple emails after one of our drivers has been involved in an accident. And I've never one time had a customer reply back and say, what about our freight? They've never said it, not one time. And I'm not saying that to blow smoke. That has never been the response from our customers. Our customers say the same thing every time. When we notify them we've been involved in a serious accident, their reply is, how is your drivers? That tells you we got a good communication with our customers. They know that Prime is about our drivers and our drivers' safety, and they've bought into that, and that's why we make a good team. Bill?
Also, from that critical event line, that speed was steady. That means he had his cruise control set. You never run your cruise control in bad conditions. You only do that on a wet road, let alone a snow-covered road.
That's right. Any inclement weather, thank you, Bill. Very good point. Any inclement weather at all, get that cruise off. What's going to happen when that cruise kicks in and it starts to try to accelerate and it breaks traction? That tire that just broke traction is going to try to lead, right? So it's going to come around on you, and that's exactly what happens in these accidents. So let's just make sure we learn from this. Make sure that none of you in here repeat what we just saw on the screen, and let's make sure we're not talking about your accident. So,
All right, good job, Bill. Appreciate it. Yeah, I come up on your back.
sorry, I got a little long-winded.
I'm surprised you
get
didn't turn on
passionate
and
talking about
hit me in
that.
the side of the head and knock me out. No, Bill's right on. There's no doubt about it. You know, keep your speed appropriate to the conditions and your ability. That's something to always remember, especially all the new folks, new associates coming in. You may be running 45, 50 miles an hour. Weather's not real great. You're getting a little, you know, you'll see some guy or gal pass you running 65, 70. That's their truck. You know, just keep an eye on them because chances are you're going to probably see them in the ditch further up the road, unfortunately, you know. And so, you know, always have that in the back of your mind. You may not have that ability. We got drivers here like Robert over here who's driven for many years for us. He's probably a little bit more comfortable running in the winter weather conditions. You may be pulling off and he may be continuing on. That's fine. That's him. You know, if he's comfortable with that, that's okay with us. You know, and everybody takes responsibility for their own equipment and their own driving, and that's what it comes down to. So Bill does an awesome job explaining these accidents. That's why I love having him up here. And, you know, anybody have any questions or comments on this?
Yeah.
Go ahead. Hold on. We got Mike coming to you.
We need to start checking our kingpins too, for our kingpin locks, because the trailers are coming unhitched. I know
Okay.
the other night we had one happen out here in the parking lot, that they just let it loose.
Yep.
We need to start checking that more closely. I've seen it a bunch of times in these lots, you know, they're just dropping the trailers. And it's a simple task. You just look at it.
Yep.
We need to start looking at that.
Well, and yeah, a little bit more than that. I mean, doing tug tests on them when you hook up, when you're looking at them, get a flashlight out, look at the kingpin. You're
This
right
time
on.
of year, snow and ice build up.
Snow and ice
so
build up
Good
will
job.
make a
Do your due
difference. There's no
diligence,
doubt.
make sure that's hooked.
One other thing I wanted to bring up about citations, and this time of year, we have a number of operators here. Love, you know, you're going to take time off, maybe take a day or two at the house. Make sure where you park your truck that you have permission to park your truck there. This time of year, our citations department gets a number of tickets for illegal parking, or sometimes owners of property or lots will just have your truck towed away, and that's expensive to get a wrecker, and then we have to get it out. We have to pay the wrecker, then you end up paying for that. So make sure you get permission to park your truck, and even if there's a couple other trucks parked there, you still get permission because maybe they got permission. Owner sees you there and they're going to say, hey, I never gave Prime permission. I'm going to call and have it towed away. I'm going to call enforcement. So follow up, make sure you do the right thing because we don't want your truck getting towed away. So
Let's get the speakers.
yeah, let's get some new fresh blood up here. So this morning we're lucky to have in leasing, we've got Haley. Come on up, Haley. She's a big Chiefs fan too. You can tell that.
Such a big Chiefs
No,
fan.
no pink shoes today. Last
I
time we had those pink
know.
Nikes. Those
I
are
almost
cool.
wore them and then I was like, I wore them last time, so I better not wear them
Okay.
again today.
Yeah, you got to get new ones now. There
Exactly.
you
Good
go.
morning, everyone. Hello. My name is Haley. I work in Success Leasing. I am here to talk about ordered trucks. Very exciting. So I handle all of our ordered trucks. So once you've been leasing with Success for 3 months, you can order your truck. So generally when you start leasing, you get to choose your truck, but it, might not be a brand new truck. So keep in mind, after 3 months, you can go to our website and you can place an order for a truck. Good news is, as of yesterday, we just opened Peterbilt's up. So that means you have to be end of lease though to be able to order a Peterbilt. So a lot of people that might be watching this, that are end of lease operators, are very, very excited about that. So I'm going to kind of go over really quickly how this is going to work to order a truck. Again, you'll just go to the website, successleasing.com, and then on the top right-hand side, you'll go to new ordered trucks. It'll very easily walk you through it. You'll just put your name, information. You can choose the color of truck that you'd like. So you'll choose Freightliner, choose the color that you want, and then there'll be a big spot for extras. So there's probably about 20, 25 extras. Those will be your cost. So we stock our trucks all of the same, but if you would like certain things that are different on the trucks, if you would like lumbar seats or fancier lighting inside the truck or just a bunch of different stuff, you guys can choose that, okay? So just click all the way through that. And then an email will generate to Jennifer Sutton in the TWIC office, okay? She will get back to you in about, 24 to 48 hours and just say, thank you for placing your order. We're going to submit it over to the manufacturer. We'll let you know once we have the VIN back. If you guys have placed an order with extras, again, those will be your cost. If you have been leasing with us for a year, we can run that through your settlement per your dispatcher's approval over 10 weeks, okay? If you have not been leasing with us for a year, you'll have to pay for those extras up front before we can place the order with the manufacturer, okay? None of the extras are refundable, so keep that in mind when you're placing your order. Once the truck is about 30 days out from getting to our yard, I will be giving you a call, or Chelsea from our office, to just go over the whole pickup and how this is going to work. I will ask you if there's any prime extras you would like. Those things are like a step box, Epic View, a refrigerator, anything like that, so that I can have the truck ready for you when you get here. We do schedule pickups for, obviously, to pick up your truck. So when I call you, I'll just say, hey, once your truck is here, I'll say, call you and say, hey, your truck is on the yard. When would you like to pick it up? We do not want to hold these trucks longer than 2 weeks, okay? I know that there's a lot going on right now, but we really like to get a good pickup date in mind so that we know when you're going to be here, so that I can schedule with the shops to have this truck ready for you. And then you guys will come and see me at your pickup time, and I will get you your keys and your inspection form and get you on your way. Does anybody have any questions about ordered trucks? I don't see. No questions?
There's been a lot of delay in the getting like the Freightliners and everything.
Yeah.
Are they catching up on that, or are they still a few weeks delayed?
Right now they're about 4 to 6 weeks delayed. So they are trying to catch up, but I mean, honestly, it's just a national part shortage. So it's across the board. They're really trying as fast as they can. We just had a meeting with Freightliner last week, and they've been getting a plane to get these parts over to the factories to try to get these trucks here to us quicker. But honestly, when your pickup date says it's June 30th, it's about 4 to 6 weeks past that, unfortunately. But again, I'm always happy to track the trucks. If you have an ordered truck that you've already placed, you're more than welcome to email or call us. We check on ordered trucks every single day. So feel free to just reach out to me, and I'm always happy to track it.
Awesome. Yeah.
Any
No
other
other
questions?
questions? Man, you got off easy, Haley.
Oh, how delightful.
Yeah,
Okay,
and-
guys.
But she'll be around after the meeting too. If you all have questions or you don't want to get on the mic, that's fine too. We also have Drew Martin back here. Drew's our supervisor, manages a leasing department as well. So you can hit Drew up as well. So. Oh, yes. I'm sorry. Yeah, give her a round of applause. Good job. One critical point I have left out. I'm going to blame it on Bill. It's your fault, Bill.
It is my fault. I got
So anyway,
long-winded.
yeah, this morning we love to do this and we want and can't forget it and almost did. So if you're new here to Prime this week, you're new in orientation, PSD, CC, BC, or AC here in Springfield, Salt Lake, or Pittston, if you could stand and be recognized, we'd love to do that. Stand on up. Woo. We must have brought in the Salt Lake orientation here, man. We got people yelling and all that.
That's
This
good.
is this is good. So
Set the
no.
bar a little high for the next one.
Yeah, so welcome to Prime, everybody, and glad you came in and you picked the right time of year. I'm gonna be honest with you to start your training. Many of you are, and winter months, this is the best time to learn. So next winter, you'll feel a lot more comfortable than what you will this winter. But we're gonna assign you a good trainer and get out there and make sure you communicate with them and ask questions. By all means, ask lots of questions. That's the only way you really learn. And if you have questions that can't be answered, get with your fleet manager or get with safety here and we'll help you out as well. So got anything to add to that one, Bill?
I'm good.
All right, so let's move on to our next speaker. From Road Assist Department, our manager, Justin Kaufman. You hear Justin? There he is. He's coming out of the bullpen. You can see him running. There we go. So.
All right.
Good.
Thank you very much, Dave. Appreciate it. I wanted to touch on winter maintenance a little bit today. Temperatures are slowly, and even now we're going into temperatures below freezing. And so the first topic I wanted to talk about was making sure that your fuel is treated. And, we're treating our fuel and we're testing our treated fuel at all of our major terminals, Pittston, Springfield, Pittston, to make sure that it's adequately treated. But whenever you purchase fuel out on the road, it can be very questionable as to whether it is winterized or whether it's not. Specifically, if you're purchasing fuel down south, they may not treat because they don't see temperatures below freezing, in some cases. So if you're purchasing and fuel in Miami and you're running a load up to Minnesota or Wisconsin, you could very well be gelled up by the time you get up to your 90, So we say, hey, if it's in temperatures below freezing, below 32 degrees, let's make sure where you're getting fuel, that it's treated. We sell in our plazas a product called Penray Power R Plus. You can purchase it in our plazas and have it on board with you. But one bottle of this treats 250 gallons, and it's important to get this in your tanks, treat both tractor tanks, and not just both tractor tanks, but the reefer tank as well. So we want to make sure that we get the reefer fuel treated. I'd also encourage you, if you haven't already, but get that bunk heater turned on. And whenever you're fueling up and you're making sure that your fuel is treated, run your bunk heater and get a little of that treated fuel sucked up into the fuel line of that bunk heater, so you're good there. But if you don't have access to, our products, Penray Power R Plus, I'd recommend Power Service, comes in a white bottle. You could pick that up at most truck stops. That's another really good anti-gel. I'd also recommend that you have a bottle of this 911 on board. And this is a fuel liquefier, de-icer. This is what you put in your tanks if you do experience gelling. So if you are gelling up, if your truck is sputtering, you can dump this into your fuel tanks and, it can assist in getting that fuel liquefied again. And if you have it on board, Road Assist can always call out a road service too, to, put in your fuel filters, and we can get in your fuel filters to try to get you ungelled. So this is a good product. We sell it at all of our locations as well. And I'd make sure it's here, I think it's around $10, $9 to $10. This Penray Power R Plus is here over $5, $5.50 or so, so you can pick that up and treat. I'd also recommend that you have a good set of jumper cables on board, heavy duty jumper cables, 2 to 4 gauge. We sell those in our company store. so you can pick them up there. But they're super handy if you experience a no start situation, or you're picking up a reefer and you can't get it fired up. At the back of most of our trucks, you'll find jumper posts, and you can take the caps off. You can hook up the jumper cables, pop open the curbside reefer door and hook up your jumper cables to the batteries, and sit there and get your reefer fired up. So if you've never done this and you want to learn how, I always like to plug our pro maintenance class. We teach this class every Tuesday and Thursday here in Springfield at 8 a.m. It starts over in the new plaza, and there's a classroom part of it, and then there's a hands-on part of it as well in the south side of the plaza, upper mezzanine. So in this hands-on portion, we'll walk you through how to jump start a reefer. We'll walk you through how to do some small repairs, like change out your headlight, change a fuse. We'll show you a slider bogey. We'll show you some brake pads on disc brakes and brake shoes on drum brakes, and show you what's legal and what's not. So I'd encourage you to take that class. I've got a few other things. If Brianne can show a few photos I sent her. Somebody had mentioned just a few minutes ago, and I caught part of it, the importance of making sure your trailer is latched, right? So this is the throat of the fifth wheel. This is the jaw of the fifth wheel. And so, when you go to hook up to a trailer, it's just important to position that trailer where you push up on that trailer a little bit as you back under it. You hear the click, you set your parking brakes. It takes a really good flashlight to look and make sure that there's no gap in between the trailer and the fifth wheel. And then this is a very important part, is getting under there underneath the trailer and looking in the throat of the fifth wheel, making sure that that jaw is actually latched, right? You get out, you make sure your fifth wheel handle, the visual indicator in your fifth wheel handle is in, and the handle is locked. Then you do your pull test, and you're good to go. So what we see sometimes, and without fail, we'll start getting a little bit of ice or snow. And it happens here in Springfield with trucks running around bobtail, and that's ice or snow, will pack into that fifth wheel a little bit, and it'll cause some problems. But, this is just a basic check we should be doing regardless of whether there's ice or snow or not, just making sure that jaw is really latched. And in the next photo, this is just a case where, we thought we had it latched and it wasn't. The jaw wasn't latched, and, it can sometimes damage trailers and, create a situation that requires a record. This is another situation that we'll sometimes see in the call center, road assist call center, where, if you're sitting somewhere, before you get ready to take off, if you're sitting somewhere overnight on break, before you get ready to take off, you always want to make sure that all your tires are spinning. And it's good, if you're doing your pre-trip, your walk-around inspection, it's good just to, what I like to do is just take a glove and just kind of mark the tire, and then you can pull forward and just make sure that the tires are turning a little bit. But here we had a frozen brake, and we took off until the point that we damaged the tires. So just make sure that those tires are spinning. I don't have a whole lot else. Want to touch on those items. I think Dave does have a few giveaways. So here's a question. What's the giveaway, Dave?
Got a gift card. Got two of them. You got two questions?
All right. Yeah. So
These.
what is the how many 30 seconds of tread? Okay. How many 30 seconds of tread is required on the steer tire? Oh, that was quick. Okay.
Man, who was first?
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
Mr. Puma, I'll give it to him. There you go. $25 gift card. There you go.
Here's a harder question for you. You got one more?
Now, one more. Make it tough.
So what classifies a major tread groove?
Ooh.
What classifies a major tread groove?
Everything outside of the outer tread.
No. What is in a major tread groove that classifies it as a tread groove? Major tread groove. No thoughts? There's different things that are in a tread groove of a tire And what is in that tread groove that makes it an official tread groove? Rubber? Yeah. Yeah. It also measures a little bit of wearing.
And the wires.
Uh-huh.
Getting spray or wire.
Okay.
You give it to 'em?
I'll give it. Yeah. Here's what it is. It's the there's a wear bar that is in that. Yeah, wear bar. And so that wear bar is in the major tread groove. It classifies a tread groove as a major tread groove.
All right. Good information
All right.
from Justin. No questions? We're going to move on to our next speaker. All right. This time of year, Bill. Yeah, give Justin a round of applause. Good job. This time of year, we tend to have issues with eating, don't we?
Yes,
Too
we
many-
do.
Too much candy
All
comes through
of
our
us.
department. Yeah, there's no
Good
doubt.
grief.
Especially me.
I don't know why they don't just send us money instead of candy.
That
I
would
could
be
use
nice.
that a lot more. Now we don't have to do that New Year's resolution come January 1st. But speaking of New Year's resolutions, a lot of people do it. And it's a good thing to get you motivated. But you've chosen a very sedentary lifestyle. We're going to be completely honest. And it's really tough on you. And maybe you came to us, you're new here. You took good care of yourself. You ate right. Maybe once in a great while you found a gym. Things are going to change. I'm going to tell you, it's going to be harder now that you've chosen this line of work. But once again, Prime's got an app for that, right? So we have got a program that can help you. Driver Health and Fitness program is designed to, maybe you've got some health issues you want to work on and do better. Maybe you're already healthy, but you want to know how to maintain that. So don't ever think that the Driver Health and Fitness program is just for ones that really need to shed some pounds and work on issues they've already got. Maybe you want to get a jump start on making sure that you never get to that point where you have to have that kind of help. And this kind of lifestyle can cause a lot of different health disorders, okay? Sometimes if we put on a little extra weight, we have to get on CPAP because maybe we've got some restrictive issues with our breathing, diabetes, all these things. We've got a program that's designed to do one thing and one thing only, is to help you work through those issues. We have an owner that's very proactive. He wants drivers here for a very long time. And we know to do that, you've got to be healthy and take care of yourself. So Robert Lowe has decided we're going to always have a program here for our drivers to take care of their health. And I want to introduce Matt, and is it Rachel? Matt and Rachel, they're in charge of our Driver Health and Fitness program to tell you a little bit about what it is. Thanks, Matt.
Yeah, I appreciate it, Bill. That was a great segue because in Driver Health and Fitness, we can help everybody, but we can help everybody with different things and different issues you have. We have so many things that I'm not going to list them today, but we are going to hit on a couple big topics that we've been working on and that is really relevant to wintertime, right? So we talk about, before this, proper truck maintenance, putting the right things in to make your truck run efficiently. Well, you also have the person behind the wheel of that truck. You all out there are running that truck and you have to make it run efficiently, but you have to make yourselves run efficiently as well. Otherwise, it's going to, in the long term, it's not going to be good for you. You look at your body. How do you fuel it correctly? Choose the right foods. Talking to our dietitian, Rachel, following some of the things we do in DHF. You look at the proper lubrication for your joints, movement. So moving more, exercising more. It's not exactly easy to do while you're on the road, but this wintertime, we know it's easy to get sucked into comfort foods, easy things you can grab on the rollers at the gas stations, truck stops. Hard to exercise because there's snow and ice on the ground. It's cold outside. So one of the things we put together, and I'm going to let Rachel talk about, is our Fit in 15 program. And we're starting pre-enrollment for that starting on Monday. That's going to kick off end of January, and it's a 15-week, 15-minute program. And I'm going to let you kind of explain some of the components of that program.
Okay, so Fit in 15 is a mobile friendly program because you guys are, you're on the road. You probably don't have laptops, you have phones. So everything with this program is mobile. So it's a lot of videos that we put together about recipes, how to eat healthy on the road, under 15-minute workouts every day. So we have about 3 a week at least in each phase, and we have options for that. So if you are in the snow and cold, you don't have to do the out of truck workout. You can do the in-truck workout, and it's starting slow. It's just starting out with, functional movements, building up your strength, getting your heart rate up so you can have that good calorie burning going on and keep that cardiovascular health up. So yeah, that's kind of the basis of the program, and built into it is a lot of accountability. So you can talk with anyone on the DHF team. So there's in kind of like health coaching calls. There's also more specific nutrition counseling calls where you'll just be talking with me, and we can talk about your health goals. And so every week I give you a little nutrition goal to work on for the whole week. So we can start out slow. I don't want you to say, I'm never gonna, never ever gonna eat out again. Okay. That's probably not realistic, right? We're just gonna work on little things week to week, where even if you are gonna eat out at a truck stop, I'm gonna give you tips and videos on what to pick whenever you are eating out. So you can just make a little bit, healthier choices there.
Yeah, and it's like Rachel said, it's built on 3 pillars: fitness, nutrition, and accountability. It's easy to get sucked into your everyday routine while you're on the road, so we want to keep you accountable through weekly Zoom calls. You could talk to our DHF team and drivers in the program, health coaching, nutrition counseling calls with Rachel. And then we're going to have exercise videos based on those in and out of truck workouts. And so we're actually going to have a couple different videos each day. 15 minutes a day is all we're asking for you. So you can even do it on that 30-minute mandated break. Signups go live on Monday on driverhealthandfitness.com. And that's going to be kind of a pre-enrollment period. We want to open signups long before the program starts, because this is a once every 15-week program. So what it is, it's also a weight control program. So you think weight control, weight loss, kind of the same thing, but we want to teach you to lose weight in a healthy way, not 10 to 20 pounds a week, but a healthy 1 to 2 pounds a week that you're going to be able to keep off after the program ends. So we'll also have leaderboards in that for the drivers that are in it for, pounds lost, things like that. So it'll be a fun way to have competition, and also to learn healthier ways to eat better, to exercise, and to stay accountable to your goals on the road. Because like they were saying before, it's New Year's, right? And people have resolutions, goals they want to make. And I really hope that health and fitness is, of course, one of the most popular ones, but it needs to be your number one priority while you're in this profession, because it's hard. And so we're going to teach you easy ways to do it through that program. If you want any more resources of things we have put together for you, of course, go to driverhealthandfitness.com and join our Prime Driver Health and Fitness Facebook group as well. We'll send out notifications through that as well. And then we also have a YouTube page, Driver Health and Fitness, that we put recipe videos together in, exercise videos together, a ton of information and content built around your environment and teaching you things you could do easily out on the road. Any questions for us or anything? Okay.
Thank you very
All right,
much.
thanks.
There you go. Thank you for coming up. Yeah, I could tell you personally, I've had a number of conversations with Matt, just with myself, and he brings up a lot of good ideas on health and wellness and what health bars to stay away from and which ones to go with and what to look for and how to read packages and all that. And it's taught me a ton of information. So
It's a tool. Use it.
there's no doubt. So we're going to kind of start to wrap this up a little bit, our meeting, but the most important part's getting ready to come up, and it's the funnest as well. So Wreaths Across America. So I'd like to ask Stan Amman to come up here. Stan's our operations supervisor on the reefer side, and Stan's going to introduce our important driver and talk about Wreaths. So go ahead, Stan.
Good morning, all. I want to first recognize the folks here in the yellow vest, PSDs. Thank you for joining what we feel like is the best driver training program in the nation. You could have went a lot of places. Thank you for joining Prime. This morning, Dave brought up Wreaths Across America. I was just talking to Robert Pence, who I'm going to bring up here in a second. And I had the honor of going to Arlington 5 years ago for the laying of the wreaths. And I met Robert and his wife, Kelly, there. Just incredible experience. It's hard to describe. Everybody should be there once in their life. So come on up, Robert. So Robert's been here at Prime. I won't give a lot of information. I'm going to ask him to tell his story, but a year in trucking that's a career with a lot of drivers, because drivers have a tendency to move around a lot. A year, 2 years at the same place is a long career. But Robert's working on 14 years here, and we really appreciate all he's done. So Robert, just go ahead and talk a little bit about what brought you to Prime and then your Wreaths Across America experience.
Well, I started out, I was working for another company. And I was with them for a year and a half, and I really wasn't happy. So I knew about Prime, but I didn't really check it out. And then once I think I ran 600 miles 1 week with the other company, I'm like, that's just not going to cut it. And so I came over here and I'm just as happy as I can be. And then I was here a couple of years, and then my wife and I met online, and I asked her if she'd be interested in coming out, and I trained her, and she's actually watching online, so she knows what I'm about to say. I trained her, and that's pretty much why I'm bald.
Uh-oh.
But it's all good. And if she were standing here today, I'd still tell that joke. But we got into Wreaths about 5 years ago because it's such an important thing. We need to let our heroes know that we won't forget them. So if you're here tomorrow, please come on down to the cemetery and lay a wreath. If you're at home or if you're on the road, if you're working, find a cemetery near where you are, a veteran cemetery, and go lay a wreath. It's very important. If you have served, please come on out, sign the trailer. If you know somebody that served, please come out and put their name on the trailer. On our truck, we have an honor guard, and this is for people that didn't make it home. And if you know somebody that didn't make it home, please see me afterwards, and I'll explain to you how you can get their name put on our truck, and they can ride with us for the remainder of this lease.
So what time is that tomorrow?
I believe it's 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock.
11 o'clock out at the Memorial Cemetery. And we can get you directions if you need directions. Yeah, and Robert has Sharpies, and that's an invitation to everybody in here to go out and sign this trailer. And while you're out there, I want to mention Robert's truck. You need to see this truck. It's a memorial, and it's just an incredible truck. You might talk about that a little bit. What made you decide to do that?
Well, there's an eagle on top of a tombstone in a veteran cemetery, and it's very important that it's not photoshopped. It's an actual picture of an actual eagle on top of so he's looking over and he's protecting, and it's just a wonderful thing.
Yeah, it is an incredible truck. So 11 o'clock tomorrow?
11 o'clock tomorrow.
All right, great. And Kelly, I want to give you a shout out because I know we've got you on injured reserve right now, but I know you'll be back and you're watching online. So, I think we got one more thing.
Oh, yes, absolutely. If you've served, please stand. Thank you.
Great job. Thank you, Robert.
Yep.
So, a couple things I want to cover real quick this morning. I'll turn it over to Darryl Hopkins to close us out. Cargo claims are just a horrible thing, a financial burden, and we're in the cargo claims prevention business here at Prime. So, who here can tell me? I don't have gift cards, sorry, so I may not get as fast the answers. But what does shipper, load, and driver count mean? Anyone? Okay. Shipper's going to load the product, and you have to be there to witness it, correct? And it's key that you're there to witness it. And if they don't allow you on the dock, your first call should be your fleet manager right away and get sales involved, because we don't want a shipper, load, driver count that we didn't count. And that's really where most of our cargo claims come from, is these shipper, load, and driver count loads. That and continuous seal records on a multi-stop load. I'm sorry, we have a lady with a question back here. We wanted to go out to everybody that's watching our other terminals.
Okay, you just said that, she said stand up.
We don't care.
I'm older, so
I understand. I got notes in my back pocket.
Okay, my name's Tina, and I'm a lease operator here at Prime. I've been here a month. Awesome. You said
Thank you
that
for choosing Prime.
a lot of studying, and I have a best friend that works here. So on that, what you said, now I was told, and you just said something different, so I'm just clarifying.
Okay.
You say call your driver manager first. They told me to call claims because I called claims and got my claim number, then called my driver manager. Does it matter, or?
I would call my driver manager, and here's why. They need to get with sales and get that changed with the customer to a shipper, load, and count load. So we're out of that burden of that claim if the count's off. So
Okay.
claims really need to be after the fact, or something you see is damaged or something like that.
Right, like
But-
AWG was the one I went to.
Right. But in the front of it, where something's going on like that,
Right.
your fleet manager's your lifeline to get that changed to shipper loading count.
See, we need to make that clarified on the other side too, because they're saying we're supposed to call claims first.
Okay. Well, we'll do our best to get that clarified everywhere, and everybody here heard that. So those folks of you in the, our PSDs, the bills are the legal document. You get information on your Qualcomm, you'll get, settlement information. It's an estimated settlement. Well, this is an estimated load assignment too of what might happen. So always, when you get your bills, read them thoroughly. Key thing, destination or destinations, and the temperature. Temperature is crucial in this business. You go into an ice cream plant, and we sent the load out to you at 58 degrees. What's wrong? What's going to happen to ice cream at 58 degrees? I said, just use common sense, and you're going to know you need to make that call. And I guarantee your bills are going to say -10 or -20 on that load. But the key is, look at those bills. You're going to be making a live loaded call. Make sure you have those bills in your hand when you do that live loaded call, because they're going to ask you some information, and they're going to be open-ended questions. They're not going to be where you can just know your information off your Qualcomm. So please help us there. We had a claim this week for $13,000. It's going to be, unfortunately, an independent contractor is going to pay that because he didn't keep a continuous seal record on a multi-stop load. And I hate that. It's one of the most frustrating things. All we have to do is keep track of the seal end of that receiver, and then put the seal they put on the trailer out to go make your next stop. We're out of that claim because we picked it up as a spot trailer. So please, please, please help us prevent these cargo claims. And I want to finish up. I did have some numbers I want to do real quick that Jason gave me. We hauled 10 loads for Wreaths Across America this year, 26,000 miles, and we made 34 stops. So I wanted to get that in there. And the last thing, I want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas and a prosperous 2022. So be safe. Man, 2022 seems like Y2K was yesterday. We were all scared the world was going to end. But anyway, happy holidays all, and thanks for all you do.
All right. Thank you, Sam. Appreciate it. We'll get Darryl up here next. And I'd like to bring up Darryl Hopkins. He's our controller, oversees Success Leasing, pedigree, truck, trailer sales. A little bit of everything, don't you, Darryl?
A little bit.
There you
I
go.
really just have a lot of good people. I don't do much. But first, I think I just want to, echo Stan's comments, kind of a congratulations to everybody here that's wearing a yellow vest. And you heard Stan say it. I'm sure Dee Silva said it like 50 times if she's leading you, but you have latched on to, I believe, the best trucking company in America. And listen, we've already reached domination in America. We're now trying to go for world domination. So we'll keep going, but you really have. And you don't have to hear it from me. Listen to Bill and everybody's been around for 50 years, and they can tell you that it's a great company. So anyway, I think you talk to the guys who've been here, and you're going to find out for yourself. So that's awesome. And kudos to all our trucking team, because, while there's some real positives right now, I mean, rates are up significantly, some really good things going there. You do face a lot of challenges. I mean, many of you are still facing COVID restrictions where you go. Repairs are more difficult right now. You can talk to our trucking suppliers and our trailer suppliers, and there's equipment, there's parts shortages, there's labor shortages. When you do break down, you seem to be in the shops longer. And so you've got those challenges. And it's just, you're coming up on winter weather. So there are a lot of challenges to this job. It's a very rewarding job, but there's a lot of challenges. Our company here is trying to make it the very best for you we can, because we try to do so many things that other companies don't do. I won't go into that long list. You'll see it as you stay with our company. So I know if the big guy were here, there's at least a couple of things he'd want to say. One, he'd want to talk about the coming weeks. Robert's a family guy, and we believe we're family here. But our customers have a lot of needs over the next couple of weeks. And I was just talking to Keith, and they've really stepped up. Over 160 of our reefer customers, as an example, which represent 98% of the freight, are paying a holiday surcharge to encourage you to stay out there and run as many as you can. Now, I love this program this year. In the past, our program was you had to stay out from a certain date to a certain date, and then you got something for it. And if you missed a day in there, well, you didn't get it. It's not the way it works now. You can just haul one more load, 5 more loads, whatever you can do adds to that freight capacity, and you're going to get paid well for it. And where the 2% doesn't pay, Prime's going to. So it's a great program. I was just talking to Henry Manning yesterday. Now, many in this room know Henry Manning. He's been around longer than I have, like 28 years, 29 years. And I was asking, Chris, what are you doing? You going home for the holidays? What are you doing? Henry he goes, I'm running. And I said, he goes, Darryl, they're paying so much money. I got to run. And I said, that is awesome, Henry. This guy's been here for a long time. I'm just telling you, he's a wise guy. He's a great runner. It's something to think about and listen to. So the only other thing I'd mention before apparently Rodney wants to say something is I know that.
Don't finish yet. Let me, because basically back on the holiday surcharge, of course, what we're talking about, there's 2 different programs. There's one for independent contractors and there's one for company drivers and company drivers on company trucks. And Darryl's really talking about the one for independent contractors. And by the way, these few customers that didn't chip in and say, we're going to do some additional, Prime stepping in, okay? Because it's very important for us to make sure we have capacity for our customers out there. So if the customer's not throwing in some money, we're going to throw in an additional $200 to be distributed to you. If you're a percentage guy and you do the whole load, 72%, then that's $144. But so really right now, you can count on a minimum of $144, but they've done averages with the customer. And if I'm not mistaken, the customer averages around $400 a load. So that's not 144, that's 288. And so, you know, as Darryl says, take advantage of this time, okay? I mean, there's great opportunities out there. You know, we need to support our shippers right now because what that will do, that will lead us into the beginning of next year, and therefore we'll have the freight at that time. You know, our objective is to have that freight basket as full as possible. We want you guys running, making money. That's one piece of it. That's only one piece. We want a quality of life also, okay? And that's a very important piece. And I don't know if Darryl talked about it. I call him Harold Maverick, whatever. But anyhow, respect. And did you mention that already?
I have not.
That is one of Robert's deals, okay? You guys deserve respect. And, you know, through this COVID situation, you've got some more, not enough. People don't realize what you do. I mean, you know, you're really the lifeblood of the economy. And so I just want to thank you. I just kind of interrupted Darryl, but I do that all the time.
I'm good for color. He's good for a lot of detail. No, actually, Rodney knows our programs really well. So I actually appreciate that. He covers a lot of things I missed. But listen, I won't keep you here. You've been here a full hour. I will just close out by saying I know Robert, one of the things he always emphasizes is, you know, we truly do feel like we're a family here. We care about our people. It's the reason we do a lot of the things we do, a lot of the programs we have. There, you know, when you see Matt and Rachel come up here and talk about health, we're not making something off that. We're doing that because we actually care about your health and we want you to be, to have a great life, a great lifestyle, to not feel poorly while you're working. I mean, it's just because we care. So, you know, he'd tell you we're family. He'd tell you that he really wants you to be safe out there. The worst day in our company is when somebody gets hurt. So please be safe as you drive and you get into the winter weather. And most importantly, have a Merry Christmas and great time with your family.
Thanks, Darryl. All right, don't forget, Penn's up here to go out and sign the trailer. We're going to play the Wreaths Across America video here. Brianne's going to cue it up. So first 5 minutes or so. So if you want to sit back and watch that, then go outside and sign the trailer, feel free. Thank you. Have a Merry Christmas, everybody.
Support our troops. Merry Christmas. Proud supporter of the Wreaths U.S. Army. Vietnam, U.S. Army.
God bless America. Merry Christmas.
God bless America, U.S. Army. U.S. Army, vote there, please. God bless America. U.S. Army.
The name's on the truck, as it shows, it's family service. This side is my side of the family, except for Glenn's brother, Mike, and he's Army, so he didn't get to go on the Marine side. My brother-in-law, Bill, my Uncle Les. Uncle Les was in World War II with Uncle Pete, Uncle Don, and my dad is Paul. And my mother was one of the first women to sign up for the Coast Guard for World War II. I don't have great sites that I get to go visit because my dad was buried at sea and my mom was cremated. So it means a lot to me that we get to do this for somebody else.
How you all doing today? Good deal. So you've had a busy week, both you two?
Yeah, we've been doing Wreaths Across America. We've taken them up in Maine and we've delivered all across Missouri. And Wreaths Across America, we volunteer to do this. And we pledged wreaths on veterans' graves. And this year we've completely covered Springfield Cemetery. And I need you guys want to volunteer to come over there in the morning and help pay wreaths. I just talked to Stan Holman and we can get a shuttle, take y'all over if we need to.
You let's run through some numbers real quick on private participation in Wreaths Across America. We have 54 drivers that participated. We did 29 loads, so obviously there was a lot of team loads. They covered 63,532 miles. We're finished 76 deliveries, and we'll have delivered 157,878 wreaths.
Watch and hut. Work on. Ready. Aim. Hut. Aim. Hut. Aim. Hut.